Hello, you're watching a screencast on business systems. Inside the screencast we'll be taking an overview that looks at what businesses are and the role that information plays inside the business. So first, if we consider what information is and distinguish between what is data and what is information. If I was to come out with a statistic 1.87 meters, I've come out with a piece of data, but it is not in context, it is meaningless. If I said the average class height of a student is 1.87 meters, then I have information. Good quality information, regardless of what it is, generally has the same kinds of characteristics. It's accurate, it's put at the right level, it's understandable quickly, it's delivered in a timely fashion. Looking now to organizations themselves, I've got a couple of definitions here of what an organization is. They both say the same thing. An organization is made up of many people working towards the achievement of a common goal and objective, and using resources in a coordinated fashion in order to achieve that common goal and objective. Organizations themselves come in different types. Here we recognize four. Perhaps the most common would be the commercial, capitalist type of organization which exists to make a profit. We have public organizations such as the civil service, which exists to serve the interests of wider society. We have mutual organizations such as cooperatives, which serve their members. And we have charitable organizations which serve whatever stated objective that they've been given. Mission statement, if you want. The types of management structure that can be found inside organizations: traditional hierarchical management structures are perhaps typified by the army, where there are many levels of management reporting up and down the hierarchy. A flat organizational structure is where a lot of that middle management has been removed, so the difference between the top of the organization and the bottom is relatively small, regardless of how large the organization is. And finally, matrix management structures, which rely on a flexible system whereby the role that the person performs depends on the job which is being done. So, if we now consider the characteristics of an organization which uses IT, typically they would process a large amount of data. That would require specialist applications and staff and equipment. They would also require special security procedures to protect that data. It's often said that data is the most valuable asset any company can possibly own. The ability to process large amounts of data means that you can cast your net a lot wider when it comes to servicing customers and dealing with suppliers. Obviously, the internet would be a big advantage there. So, what purposes is information used for? Well, at the very top of our management hierarchy, we have strategic decision making. Big picture, long time horizon. Beneath this level, we have tactical decision making. So here the time horizon would typically be on a quarterly basis or perhaps annual basis, compared with the strategic timeline, which is at 5 to 7 years. And finally, at the bottom of the hierarchy, we have the operational management decisions which need to be made. More day-to-day, week-on-week type decision making. If we think about systems theory, about how the various resources inside the organization are used to achieve the goal, we wind up with a picture which, if you consider just commercial organizations, is pretty much common regardless of the organization being looked at. Organizations have suppliers from which they buy their raw materials. They have some kind of process where they add value to that material. Then they have the sales and marketing systems which involve delivering the material to the customer. Over this we have some kind of feedback mechanism which looks at efficiencies, how well is stock moving, how much is it selling, how long does it sit on a shelf, whatever. And we have the management decisions which are made as a result of that feedback and the strategic decisions taken at board level in terms of the direction of the company. Finally, we're going to wind up with 4 rules. These are the 4 rules which underlie business systems. First off, every system has a purpose. A system needs more than one component. And a system is a routine thing. It operates on a regular basis, and here it is different from a project, which is more of a one-off. Our second rule: says that information is processed data. The facts and stats of data, but put into context. Rule number 3 says that systems are efficient if they're logical, although they can be implemented in different ways. You can basically have two efficient systems which are equally as effective but perhaps very different in their implementation and operation. Basically, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And then finally, we remember that a system is a product that can be engineered and manufactured, just like a car or a pencil or a light bulb. We make systems. And that ends this screencast. Thank you for watching.